Hello guys, and today I'm going to discuss some rather strange news from Britain, okay? This is the strange story that's been going on for days now within Britain about a politician's wife paying her taxes. Now, this woman, right, has paid the correct amount of tax. She's paid all the amount of tax that she's legally supposed to pay. And the public aren't happy about it. It's been considered some sort of scandal that a woman who happens to be the wife of a politician is paying the correct amount of tax. And people have been calling into radio stations and commenting on the internet saying they think it's a disgrace that this woman should pay the correct amount of tax. They don't think it's right that a politician's wife should pay the correct official amount of tax, and they're unhappy about it. Now, normally, when people are involved in tax scandals, you'd assume it's because they're trying to avoid paying tax, or they've illegally, or for example they've been caught out and they're facing a jail sentence or something like that. But in this case, people are unhappy that someone is paying the correct official amount of tax, and there's an uproar about it, and things have got so bad that the politician himself told the public he thought that they should lay off his wife in no uncertain terms, because he basically said, that he felt people were attacking her because they wanted to really attack him but were too cowardly to do so. And so he felt it was easier for them to try and criticise her than for them to try and be honest and criticise him. Anyway, the woman herself has taken this into consideration. She now realises that perhaps the public are quite upset about this, and so she has finally agreed to pay the wrong amount of tax. The public are now happy that she's paying the wrong amount of tax, but they think the amount of tax she's paying isn't wrong enough. And they think that the amount of tax she should pay should be much more different to the amount of tax she's supposed to pay anyway. And they think it's just not wrong enough. Now, who is the politician involved? Well, basically the politician is known informally over here as Dishy Rishi. This is a picture of Dishy Rishi. He has the nickname Dishy Rishi, which I believe was first coined, I believe, by the creators of Spitting Image, but I could be wrong, which is one of our satire shows, okay, because they think he has a sexy face. And so he's known informally as Dishy Rishi, as a joke, right? And he is in charge officially of the nation's finances. And very recently he brought out something called the budget, which he does either once or twice a year. It used to be twice a year. I think that may change due to COVID. I can't remember, but I know once upon a time the budget was once a year, then it became twice a year. I'm too late to check what the current situation is. I think he didn't do a budget because of COVID, because he thought, they want to concentrate immediately on COVID rather than worrying about, other things. Anyway, I could be wrong. But anyway, he is officially the politician in charge of finance, and some people think that it's not fair that he didn't try to stop his wife paying the amount of tax that she legally has to pay. They feel that it wasn't right, either that he didn't stop her in terms of not creating a new rule for her, a new law, if you like, and also by not convincing her that she should actually not follow the law, but actually pay a different amount to the law, which many people thought should happen. So, as I said, she's finally agreed to pay more or less. I'm not going to tell you which, but which do you think, right? Than she is officially supposed to pay. And now the public are happier, but they're still not as completely content. So the debate is, should people pay the right amount of tax? And should people be ostracised for paying the right amount of tax? Several years ago in Britain, there were actually street protests outside Starbucks because Starbucks was paying the correct amount of tax. There were placards being held by people outside Starbucks restaurants, and eventually Starbucks has an agreement with the government that they would pay the wrong amount of tax in order to please people who were boycotting their stores and people who were shouting outside their stores because they were paying the correct amount of tax. It seems on the one hand the public complain if people don't pay the correct amount of tax and feel they should go to prison, but when they do pay the correct amount of tax, that isn't right either, and the public are unhappy when people actually do pay their fair share of tax according to the law. So, what do I think? Well, I think it's not really entirely fair to ostracise people for following the law. But I do think that if the law itself is wrong, it should be changed. And as I said, I'm providing a link to the Twitter feed of the provided by the politician's wife, so you can see her response to it and what encouraged her to now pay the wrong amount of tax on purpose compared to what was the correct amount. Okay guys, what do you think? Do you think people should pay the correct amount of tax, or do you think people should pay the wrong amount of tax? What do you think, guys? Thanks for watching. Bye.